When players hit a figurative wall, their production is impacted by nagging injuries, age-related decline, or schematic shifts.
Adam Gase, bro, he might have been the dumbest coach ever. If it's 2nd and 9 and Adam Gase is the coach, I promise you, I bet your bottom dollar on it, he's calling a halfback dive.
Numerous NFL stars have crashed into a wall that they just can't get back from. So today, we're going to explore 10 notable figures in the NFL who hit this figurative wall and break down everything that happened to them. Todd Gurley. Gurley was an elusive runner in his prime years with the St. Louis/Los Angeles Rams, as he had 3 1,000-yard rushing seasons on the ground, was the 2017 NFL Offensive Player of the Year, and led the league in rushing touchdowns in 2017 and 2018. Not to mention, Gurley helped the Rams reach Super Bowl 53 before the team lost to the New England Patriots 13-3. Gurley dealt with numerous knee injuries during his collegiate and professional years, especially during the Georgia Bulldogs' 2014 season when he suffered a torn ACL near the end of the season. Even though Gurley looked unstoppable during his professional playing career, damage to his ACL was caused by degenerative knee osteoarthritis, breaking down cartilage to the microscopic cellular level, which ultimately kind of impacted his career. Gurley truly hit that figurative wall during the late stretch of the 2018 season when he experienced knee inflammation and discomfort, forcing him to sit out the final 2 games of the regular season. Gurley had wear and tear arthritis in his left knee, and that drastically impacted his play in 2019, rushing 3.8 yards per carry, which was a career low for him, and resulting in the Rams releasing him in the 2020 offseason. Gurley had a brief stint with the Atlanta Falcons in 2020, rushing for 678 yards on 195 attempts and scoring 9 touchdowns in a year when he looked like a shell of his former self, before retiring at age 26 during the 2022 season. Cam Newton. Newton was a must-watch during his prime with the Panthers, as he dominated on the field as a dual-threat quarterback. Newton's electric play was exciting to watch during his rookie season and between the 2013 and 2015 seasons, as he led the team to 3 straight NFC North championships and 3 straight playoff berths. Not to mention, Newton winning the 2015 NFL MVP and leading the Panthers to a Super Bowl 50 appearance was an incredible sight to see until they lost to the Denver Broncos 24-10. During the game, Newton hit that figurative wall when he chose not to dive onto a loose ball on the field, which was ultimately recovered by the Broncos defense. The 2019 season saw Newton completely unravel though, as his play was impacted by wear and tear, recovery from shoulder injuries that impacted his throwing abilities, and absorbing a ton of hits throughout his career. Newton was released by the Panthers during the 2020 offseason and was signed by the New England Patriots, hoping to revive his career under Bill Belichick, but unfortunately, it just completely backfired, as his throwing arm wasn't great. Throwing inaccurate passes, he struggled in a complex offense, had a lack of playmakers around him, and, of course, missed some time on the COVID-19 list. Newton played 1 more season for the Panthers, where he looked like a shell of his former self and went 0-5 as a starter. Newton ultimately retired in 2022 and became an NFL analyst on ESPN's First Take and hosts his own podcast. But still, it was something else to see this man suddenly plummet. You just hate to see it happen. Le'Veon Bell. Bell is one of 3 main offensive stars for the Steelers during the 2010s, as he, Ben Roethlisberger, and Antonio Brown formed the Killer Bees offense. However, injuries impacted Bell's tenure with the Steelers, as he missed key games when the team needed him most. When healthy, Bell was absolutely unstoppable, as he rushed past opposing defenses with ease and was one of the league's most dominant runners, all thanks to a very patient running style. During the 2018 season, the Steelers tried to place a second franchise tag on Bell, but he refused to play and sat out the entire 2018 season. Bell then signed a 4-year, $52.5 million contract with the New York Jets during the 2019 offseason, but when the regular season started, he looked like a shell of his former self, as he struggled behind a weak Jets offensive line, clashed with then head coach Adam Gase, and dealt with nagging injuries. Bell was released by the Jets in the middle of the 2020 season and had brief stints with the Kansas City Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but didn't really see much action with any of those teams. Bell hasn't played in the NFL since 2022 and has since transitioned to a career in boxing, music production, and social media. Michael Thomas. When healthy and on the field, Thomas was electrifying to watch, as he and Drew Brees formed great offensive chemistry on the Saints. After the 2019 season, when Thomas posted an NFL record 149 receptions for 1,725 yards, the most in the league at the time, and scored 9 touchdowns, a high ankle sprain completely demolished his 2020 season. Thomas missed several games during the 2020 season, only played in 7 games, and was suspended by the NFL NFL for punching teammate CJ Gardner-Johnson in practice. Thomas also had surgical setbacks, which caused him to miss the entire 2021 season. He suffered a foot injury during the 2022 season, suffered a knee injury in the 2023 season, and was suspended by the NFL for one game in the 2024 season for an incident that he had in November of 2023. The Saints ended up releasing Thomas after the 2023 season, and he has not played in the league ever since. Russell Wilson. When Russell Wilson won the starting job with the Seattle Seahawks, he was incredibly exciting to watch, all thanks to his dual threat abilities. Not to mention, Wilson helped the Seahawks win Super Bowl 43-8 against the Denver Broncos. Wilson hit the figurative wall after the Seahawks traded him to the Broncos during the 2022 offseason, with the hopes that he would be able to solve their quarterback woes. Instead, Wilson struggled in the Mile High City as he failed to adjust to a rigid offensive system. As well, his physical decline was exposed in the open, and he dealt with lingering injuries. Wilson had a decent stint with the Pittsburgh Steelers during the 2024 offseason, but his play declined towards the end of said season. Then he had a stint with the New York Giants and, well, he just looked like a shell of his former self. Wilson retired from the NFL during the 2026 offseason and is set to become an analyst for CBS Sports. Carson Wentz. When the Philadelphia Eagles drafted Wentz in 2016, he had a decent rookie season, which was promising for the team. Then in 2017, Wentz stepped things up and looked like he would win the NFL MVP award, until he suffered a torn ACL during a Week 14 matchup against the Los Angeles Rams. Backup quarterback Nick Foles stepped in for Wentz and guided the Eagles to a Super Bowl 52 victory over the New England Patriots. After he recovered from his injured ACL, Wentz slowly regressed during the 2018 season, but the regression really kicked into high gear during the 2019 and 2020 seasons, as the surgery altered his playing style. Wentz even developed bad habits, including bad footwork and elongated throwing motions. Not to mention, his Eagles teammates lost confidence in his ability as a leader on the team. Wentz was ultimately replaced by Jalen Hurts during the 2020 season and had brief and forgettable stints with the Indianapolis Colts and Washington Commanders. Wentz has since become a backup quarterback, having stints with the Los Angeles Rams, Kansas City Chiefs, and is currently a backup on the Minnesota Vikings. Matt Schaub. Schaub was originally a backup quarterback on the Atlanta Falcons for Michael Vick and got his shot as a starter for the Houston Texans when the Falcons traded him to them in 2007. Schaub led the league in completions, pass attempts, and passing yards in 2009 and helped the Texans win the AFC South and reach the playoffs in 2011 and 2012 respectively. By the 2013 season, Schaub went from being a two-time Pro Bowler to a turnover machine, going 10 touchdowns against 14 interceptions and going 2-6 as a starter. Schaub's struggles emerged from taking too many physical hits, including an illegal hit in 2012 by linebacker Joe Mays that took a piece of Schaub's ear off. Those hits eroded Schaub's ability to be a reliable pocket passer, resulting in a loss of confidence. Opposing defenses began to crack down on Schaub's offensive tendencies, with quarterbacks sitting on immediate routes and jumping on his throws, as well as cracking down on his short checkdowns and out routes. Schaub had incredibly bland and forgettable stints with the Oakland Raiders in 2014, the Baltimore Ravens in 2015, and returned to the Falcons as a backup to Matt Ryan from 2016 until he ultimately retired in 2021. Nnamdi Asomugha. Asomugha was a lone bright spot on a lot of terrible Oakland Raiders teams from 2003 to 2010, as he was a lockdown quarterback who made great tackles and was a figurative island, as opposing quarterbacks refused to throw the ball in his direction. By 2011, Asomugha signed a 5-year, $60 million contract with the Philadelphia Eagles, which had Michael Vick, Vince Young, Jason Babin, Dominic Rodgers, Cromartie, Ronnie Brown, and Colin Jenkins. They referred to that team as the dream team of football. When the 2011 season kicked off, Asomugha hit that figurative wall and struggled adjusting to the Eagles' defensive schemes. He had a slow step and lost against opposing wide receivers when the team asked him to play off-man. Then defensive coordinator Juan Castillo drew up inconsistent schemes, which led to communication breakdowns and safeties biting on play action. Asomugha was released by the Eagles in the 2013 offseason and signed with the San Francisco 49ers. However, he was even slower than he was on the Eagles and was released mid-season. Asomugha retired as a Raider and has since transitioned into an acting and filmmaking career. Albert Haynesworth. Haynesworth was a dominant force to be reckoned with during his 7 seasons with the Tennessee Titans, as he made 2 Pro Bowls and 2 first-team All-Pros during his tenure. Then he signed a massive 7-year, $100 million contract with Washington during the 2009 season, as they hoped that he would bring incredible production to the NFC East. Instead, Haynesworth hit a figurative wall by clashing with coaches, intentionally failing physicals, and putting very minimal effort on the field. One of Haynesworth's infamous moments was during a 2010 game against the Philadelphia Eagles, where he gave up on a play and laid down on the field. Haynesworth was also suspended for 4 games by the team without pay due to his poor behavior and lack of effort, which Washington referred to as conduct detrimental to the club. Haynesworth was traded to the New England Patriots in 2011, but not even Bill Belichick could turn things around for this guy. And then the Patriots released Haynesworth, and he was picked up by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but was released in 2012. Shaun Alexander. Before Marshawn Lynch joined the Seahawks in 2010, there was Shaun Alexander, who made the Seahawks offense lethal thanks to his incredible speed. In 2005, Alexander won the NFL MVP, rushed for 1,880 yards, scored 27 touchdowns, helped the Seahawks earn a 13-3 record, and helped them reach Super Bowl 40 before losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers 21-10. Alexander was also featured on Madden NFL 07 and signed a massive 8-year, $62 million extension. After that, well, Alexander's career hit that figurative wall when he broke his foot in a Week 3 game during the 2006 season, forcing him to miss 6 games. Then, in 2007, Alexander suffered a fractured left wrist in a Week 1 game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then he sustained a broken left knee and ankle later on in the season. The Seahawks also had offensive line problems during the 2007 season, which really didn't help Alexander. By 2008, Alexander signed with Washington and only played in 4 games for the team, ultimately retiring from play in November of 2008. But hey, what other NFL stars seemingly hit the wall overnight? Were there any notable examples that we should have listed? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, then hey, clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.